Hey everybody, name's Ryan here in the greenhouse here in northern Michigan. Just getting to work, getting started here as always. And always something to work on here in the garden. Just working on getting the stream up here. So it looks like we're going to be there in a second. Oh man, I have got some talkative chickens out there today, guys. They are making it be known that they are awake and excited to basically be out of the run. It was kind of crappy weather here the last little bit, so they are very happy to be out and about and moving. So I'm just trying to offline. What are you talking about offline? That doesn't happen. Hmm. Looks like we're still kicking here. Why are we? Did our internet just go down? It's always this way. Just when I've got stuff kind of figured out. Let me get to the next one here. It's never simple, folks. It's never simple. All right, let's see if that works. There we go. Make sure I'm sounding okay. All right, there we go. Cool. All right, folks. So, man, that took longer than hey, sorry about the delay on the getting this up and running. So today we have got a few things we're gonna be working on here specifically. I've got bring this over so you guys can see. Gonna be working on transplanting, not these. These are right where I want them to be at. This is at the base where I've got this set up so I can get this to my chickens. If me and the wife we need lettuce, that's what we're growing out here. That's why we have this here. But I've got a few that I've already kind of popped off and given to the chickens or I've harvested for us here. So we got to clean some of these up today. I have, we'll look at this here. I have some onions and some basil that I got to get working on here. I got some basil just as germinating, got some onions we got to transplant. So we're doing that. Then I've got my next round of lettuce, and this is a mesclun mix here. And I actually had a random sunflower that decided it wanted to pop up here. So welcome everybody. Welcome to the chat. My name is Ryan. Good to have you all here. We are working in our greenhouse here in northern Michigan. Again, if you hop in the chat, please make sure you let us know where you're from. Always want to make sure you're, where I get your name. Was it name and town, name and town? I can't remember what that was from, but want to know where you're at because we have a lot of folks from all over the world that hop on the stream. Now I come here live pretty consistently throughout the week, and then on the weekends here in the fall, through the winter, and then into the spring, and then on and off during the hey, it's a real live stream. What's up? What's up, Mert? Yeah, it's like real life. I know it's crazy. But I come here and then in the spring and then throughout the summer here in my garden. I'm in my greenhouse right now here in Michigan. But we're out in my garden doing yard work. The last couple streams has just been leaves. I've been having a metric ton of leaves, but it's been for my compost and everything like that. So good to see everybody. How do I keep the solar blankets this from flaking apart? They come down during the summer months right here. And if you're asking about these over here, these are good for about a season, the bubble wrap here. And we'll get into everything, how I insulate the greenhouse, how I manage it, how I maintain it here as the stream progresses here. But I really just wanted to make sure that everybody has a great opportunity to come in and kind of get settled. But let us know where you're from here in the chat. You need aquatic plants too. Not so much in northern Michigan, but I get what you're saying here. So you're falling apart. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Good to have you on here. Awesome. Hey, so please make sure also let us know where you're from, but also if you can hit that thumbs up button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, because I come live all the time here. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I come live here, like right now. I am working on adding a more of a schedule. It'll be in the description. I'll have it in the community tab. It'll be out there for everyone, so you'll know when I'm coming live here as well. But the big piece here is that we have Southern Utah. Awesome. No, great to have everybody here from France. So the bigger piece here that I want to get to is the schedule to make sure you guys know. It's usually Tuesdays and Thursdays. Depends in the later afternoon, and then on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday. Usually around this time is when I get in here to do this stuff. It kind of depends what I got going on as well. So we are, yeah, here in Michigan. I tell you, we're kind of just preparing for. Uh, oh, awesome, great, love. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. I love it. Thank you, thank you. We have. We're waiting here. Snow starts tomorrow. Actually, it starts tonight, probably around 2 a.m. here is when they're looking in. We're our first snowstorm here. We should in total get somewhere between 5 to 10 inches of snow. None of it'll stick. It's just going to be more annoying than anything. It's going to make for dangerous driving in the morning. So if you happen to be here in Michigan, in the area where the snow's coming, slow down. Everyone's got to relearn how to drive in the ice and snow. So just be safe out there, okay? Uh, so let's run down through. Man, you guys have been hitting me up with a ton of questions already here. So, when it comes to electric lettuce, I don't grow that here. I got a place down the road. I can buy it, so we don't worry about that here. When it comes to, let's see here. What was the other question? Mushrooms. I actually grow mushrooms out of my garden during the summer. I've got areas. It's got, I've got wood chips out there. The whole area is loamy. And I'll take wine cap mushrooms. You can order them. There's a great place online where you can go get those, and you just take it, throw it out there, and then they grow throughout the season. So it's really great. Yeah. Um, oh, I hear that from a lot of folks where they mentioned that as far as that being like was that like that's a bad word. I don't really, I mean, I get it. I understand. I don't worry about it as much, but I know I get it. Nobody wants to hear that. We've been actively just like, ugh, here it comes. So I had to get I didn't do it on the stream. Typically, I try to do a lot of stuff if I'm working out in the, like out in my garage or I'm working on stuff. I typically will try to, go live just to kind of hang out with you guys. But I did have to change the oil in my snowblower. I had to give it a little bit of a tune up, just kind of check a few things, clean the spark plugs off, put some air in the tires, those type of things. And it was just like my heart just was like, one lonely tear rolled down. But it didn't freeze yet because it's not below freezing. So, but there was that. But lion's mane, yeah. So it's interesting. So I've actually been using for a while now this. So I'm going to be kind of multitasking while we're talking here. So let me just walk you through as we're kind of chatting. So I've got my lettuce here. I got to kind of pull these down here. You can see these are what I've been, this is for me and the wife. I grow lettuce. I constantly have stuff kind of going in here. So I just have fresh greens. Also for the chickens, it's good too. I've got a few here that I'm gonna be processing, and then we're gonna be transplanting some stuff, kind of talking to get this next round kind of up and going. Okay. So anyways, I'll be talking while I'm working on that. So with that lion's mane, I've actually started taking mushroom coffee. I think in the last year. I have like rheumatoid arthritis. It kind of kicks up from time to time, and somebody recommended that I get that like mushroom coffee, right, where it's half coffee and half like this mix of like 10 different mushrooms, and lion's mane is one of them that's in there. And even if it's placebo, I'll say this much: it seems to work pretty well. Like I'm again, if it's placebo, that's fine, and it's all pretend. I still feel better, so I'm okay with it. So I've been kind of recommending folks to at least kind of give it a try here. So with this is just so you guys know, this is a butter style lettuce that we have here. And these are really, really great. And they're so easy to grow in the greenhouse too, and just kind of they don't mind the colder climates, colder temperatures. Like it's getting down into, I see hey, by the way, Barnett, I got your question. I'm gonna come back to it here. But if you have an area where you can where it doesn't get too cold, like these have been down to 26 degrees, and you can see they're still doing pretty well. A couple little spots, so you can see a couple little brown spots where it did get a little bit of, we did get some ice on there, but they hold up really well in the cold. So I always try to have some lettuce growing out here, onions, things like that, that I know can just, that'll do well in this type of environment. So question on how to overwinter peppers. I just don't do pepper. My family, we don't use a lot of green peppers, like a lot of different peppers. It's just not something that I grow here. So there's good YouTube videos on it. And like with everyone, I've done it just to show that I can do it, but that is what it is. So now with this, one of the things that I like to do also, and as we see on here, is going to be, is we are going to be basically reusing, well, obviously with our cups here, but I'm going to try to salvage as much of my potting soil as I can just from this lettuce that I nipped off over here. Right. And so a lot of it's just going to recapture, because again, we're not looking for like long-term, worried about the long-term like health of these things. they got to be in here for about 6 to 8 weeks, and you know, this is fine. So this little bit of organic matter never hurts anything. There we go. So we're just down to this little nub, which I'm gonna toss over here, and they're gonna go to my chickens on the way out today. But I'm gonna walk you through I've got my potting mix that I use over here, but I actually create my own, and I'm gonna kind of show you what that process looks like as well too. There's an entire system that I use for my potting soil, to make it extended out, but also to, frankly, during the spring is when this really comes into play, when it's really getting hot in here. You know, when it's 110 in here pretty consistently, you know, between 105 and 110. I want to make sure my potting mix that I use, I want to make sure it's retaining moisture, because it does tend to dissipate. So one of the things we're going to walk through that as well too, as we are just kind of going through the motions today. But hey, everybody, welcome, welcome. As you're coming in, don't forget, let us know where you're from on this. Let us know where you're from. And because we got folks from all over in here. I've been seeing all sorts of different countries popping up, so it's great to see you. Great to see you. Yeah. Oh yeah, hey, by the way, folks, you know, I don't have mods on this stream, and I'm really hoping I don't have to bring mods on here, so please be nice, all right? It's a big thing here. We don't stress about stuff, and we're all just here to be good and have a good time here, so. All right, so there's those have been saved. Cool. So I want to show you, kind of walk you through the process of how we do these things here, because I'm going to be repotting. So I'm going to be potting obviously a bunch of stuff here today, so that's kind of important. Why are you going? Hold on, I got just something on my computer here. In Utah, awesome. Buffalo, New York. Oh man, you're getting ready to get hammered with that stuff too. Goodness gracious. And then Arizona. I used to live in Tucson. I didn't live in Buffalo. I've spent time in New York. Utah, I've been up there a little bit. Tim, welcome. Good to have you on here. I've got to get my settings. My display keeps turning off here, guys, just so I can keep up on the chat. Come on. Display. There we go. Or power settings. That's what I need. Power settings. It used to be like this whole thing. Power, power, power. There we go. Let's see. I don't want that. Where's there, screen sleep. Turn off my screen after 5 minutes. That's not okay. 3 hours is the correct response. What the heck is that crap? The heck, man. I don't know who set that up, but that's silly. Okay. That should solve that problem, guys. Okay, I can get back to this here. We do it live here, folks. Hey, Shannon, how are you? Man, Atlanta, man, all sorts of folks coming in here. Got Indonesia. Woo, 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 woo. Welcome, welcome, everyone. All right, so first things first, we are going to, we're going to repot our surprise sunflower. I guess we're growing a sunflower here. I guess that's what's happening today, so. All right, so let's bring this guy over and just kind of show you. I mean, they're really, obviously really easy to pick out of a crowd. Oh, these pods are kind of on their last legs here. Ugh. See if you guys can randomly pick out the sunflower from that group. Doesn't really stick out like a sore thumb or anything. Look at that guy. And I believe that's one of my my gray stripe mammoth sunflower seeds too. So we're going to use the tool from, this isn't sponsored per se. They didn't sponsor. I just really like their seed mix. I'm going to show you guys this. This is the Organo Republic. I should have everything. So this is the Organo Republic seed set that I got last year. Highly recommended. I got it off of Amazon, 55 different seeds. Really good germination rate on these. They got all sorts of good stuff here. You can go check it out here. 35,630 seeds. I think they've guessed on that because I had probably about 10,000 celery seeds in this thing. But it comes with all these cool little tools and everything, right? That you can use while you're kind of putting your stuff together. Cool little tweezers. But I have from a previous set this guy right here. Now, this is probably like the best tool on the planet when it comes to working in here. And it's for this little device right here. This little scoop is designed, I gotta get a little soil in here, is designed to go right. See if I can make it so you guys can see this here. I'm gonna move you guys a little closer while we're doing this work here. Now, typically, by the way, I don't have my full setup here. When we get into, by the way, everyone who's subscribed, everyone's hit the thumbs up. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm in northern Michigan here. When we get to when we get closer to December timeframe, and I'm in here a little bit more. See how that looks. Okay, that's a little bit better. I actually have an overhead system that I use for all this stuff where I'll be broadcasting up on my larger, it'll be, that's why I say subscribe to make sure you know, because I won't be doing it on the actual vertical. It'll be horizontal, like a normal YouTube video, instead of this from shorts like this. But I actually have an overhead camera. We come in so you guys can see all this stuff here. So all the good stuff. So we got our potting soil in here, and we're just going to come in and get this sunflower seed out of here. There we go. And you guys can see, check out how the roots look over there. Everything looks pretty good, but it pulls it up in like one big shot there, which is kind of why I like it. I'm gonna drop them right in there. So that guy is good in there now. We're gonna trim off some of these little guys here. Thank you for your service, but y'all ended up there. And then I'm gonna kind of back you guys off here. We're just gonna come in and pack this in. Now this is the, you'll see this is really, really dry. Okay, because I bottom water everything. Now, when we're going to be doing some new, like for all of these here, they're going to end up going into like some trays to get bottom watered so they can get hydrated up. It's a little easier. But when we're doing seeds, like fresh seeds here, or fresh pots, like where we got these 1 inch, what we go is we actually do is we water, or we hydrate this up ahead of time. All of this first. So this gets wet first, then we put the seeds in, then we do the bottom watering. Because otherwise it takes like 45 minutes to an hour for all this stuff to hydrate. And again, I'll show you the process on here. It's pretty straightforward. Ooh, man, Edmonton already got 2 to 3 inches. Is it sticking, or is it just, is it still too warm for you guys? Bedfordshire, nice, nice. Okay, man, we got folks from all over going here. I think we're in a good, I think maybe this way just a little bit more. It's staying okay. Yeah, I'm saying we're not gonna, our snow isn't gonna stay this right now, which I'm pretty thankful for. I'm always thankful when the snow doesn't stick around. Oh, this guy already got bent over a little bit, so this guy's gonna go out to the chickens. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop him out right now, since this guy kind of got bent over. Just add this to the chicken feeds. Oh man, I tell you, I love this time of year though, because I am all about, I mean, I've made so much soup. I made what did I make today? Chicken, rice, broccoli with some cheddar cheese, like kind of a whole bunch of stuff in there. There's all the good stuff. It's like, I love this time. You just give me all the soups. So I was super happy about all that. So, all right. So we're going to start some transplanting. Again, these are all just our different lettuce starts that we have. Lots of different types of lettuce. It's just the mesclun mix I kind of tossed in here. And then I had this other where the germination rate on these other seeds are just not good. I did a second round to see if maybe I messed something up, and it's not the case. So it's just some bad non-viable seeds that I had with this other one that, you know, it happens from time to time. You know what I mean? So we are going to start moving them over into these. Do I have any others? These little guys, they work too. All right. And we're just going to be loading up these guys and then getting them right into hydrate. So again, when we talk about bottom watering on this, I legitimately mean bottom watering on here. So once they're in this spot, you'll see I put them in the longer bins here, right? And we'll just fill up water from down there and they'll soak it on up. So trying to think here. So I had to have, and I've had to have the heater running in here in the evenings. Gosh, how many times have I had that running right now? Oh, I think it's probably kicked on 4 nights over the last 2 weeks. So we're definitely starting to get much cooler in the evenings now. So, you know, it's unfortunate, but it is that time of year, and it's not terrible. I mean, I'm not crying about it. Maybe okay, maybe a little, maybe just a little. I'm crying about it. Let me clear this out here. If I can get these in here. All right, so this is going to be my guys that we're going to transplant into. Let's move this over here. Oh, geez. Can't knock over the subscribe thing, right? Got to have that there. By the way, I do appreciate everybody who's subscribed and you guys hitting that thumbs up. And also, if you come across this and if you think of anybody you know that might be interested in learning more about greenhouse gardening and things like that, you know, be sure to share the video with them. Let them know. Oh, and also the online store is up and running. I'm still waiting on the rest of my sample shirts to get here, but the two items that I'm pretty comfortable with right now are getting this hat, and then I also have a long sleeve shirt too for the channel. So one of the best ways to support the channel. Best way to support the channel is through thumbs up, subscribe, and then right in behind that is get yourself a hat and shirt. And as we get some more stuff, I'm ordering a couple hoodies just to see. I'm pretty particular about my hoodies. So I gotta make sure the right stuff. I don't want to be selling anything that's gonna be like meh. You know what I mean? You you guys know what I'm talking about. Like when you get that weird feel to like the fabric, it ain't right. I don't want that for you guys. So it's a good hat, good stuff. So I'm pretty happy with it. All right. So this week's been pretty wild too, guys. Like on stuff as far as streaming. I was in the coffee shop. I'm a owner of a local coffee shop as well. One of the part owners. I'm a business coach by trade, and I own a few businesses around here. So we were bagging up, um, I was bagging up coffee for a couple hours on the stream. So if you want to go see how that process go and learn more about that, you can go check that out too. It's video, I think it's 2 videos ago. Go see that. So that was a lot of fun. And then man, we were spending so much time on the stream doing leaves this time. So I don't have it like I only have a couple trees in my yard. It's my relatively new property here, and well, my neighbors, man, they've got some monster oak trees. I got a whole bunch of maple trees, beech trees, birch trees, every tree you can think of. Even some trees I don't even know what the heck they are, and they have been dropping like mad. They had a couple mornings down to 24. That's in freedom units. I think that's like minus, I don't know, 8 maybe for the rest of the world. um, where, and then wind came right after it. So it's just been dumping leaves. So I've been out getting those. And so for me, I use leaves for compost with all my greens, you know, for my grass and all the rest of my yard waste. So, but I need brown matter, which is what I use leaves for. So my neighbors, they love me because I'm like, hey, can I come over and get your leaves? And they're like, wait, you'll do it? I'm like, yeah, I'll come get leaves. And it's great. Plus, it's good exercise for me too. You know, old man Ryan, got to kind of have his kind of got to make sure I'm getting my, you know, my workout and stuff like that as I'm getting older here. All of 47 years of age now. All right, so we're going to carefully lift these up and just transplant them here. So what I'm looking for on the transplant side here, guys, you see how I got those roots are starting to pop out down there? That's really what I'm looking for. That we're getting some good strong roots coming down there. And we want to get these in this other soil as soon as I can. So they'll be good there. All right. And again, keep in mind when you're growing lettuces in particular, we eat the juvenile form of the plant. So like with this lettuce here, right? This butter style lettuce that you can get here. We eat it while it's still young. When it gets to a certain temperature, like it heats up, gets too hot, it does something called bolting. And that's where it goes through, it moves from its adolescent phase and starts moving up into its more mature phase, which is where this entire plant grows and grows and grows. So like this version of this plant, like right now, we'll probably be eating this here, you know, over the next week and a half as it continues to fill out and get larger. The adult version of it is about this big, where it grows up, expands, and then it also has all the, you know, the flowers come out and it does that. So that's the thing here. We're not really too worried about when we get them in here because they're only going to grow to a certain age, and then that's it. You know what I mean? Like, and then they're going to up in my belly, or they're going to be chicken feed. You know, so those are the reasons that we do this. I got a couple of these guys are already getting big on me. What are you doing here, buddy? So let's get this. All right, show you guys again. This one's barely got some of the roots starting to show there, but that's the good stuff. That's what we're looking for here. So thanks, Luke. Appreciate that. But you know, it's I think for a lot of folks too, they don't realize like where in the life cycle we're actually eating a lot of the plants that we're eating. You know, not every plant that you eat is actually at the mature phase. Not all the time, mind you, but for the most part, they're not there. Like the basil you get in the stores are not the mature version of the plant. Like they actually are growing a little bit more before they get there. Not crazy, but when they go to seed, they flower, I should say, at that point, you know, they're done. Although there are methodology you can do to extend the life of your basil. And I do talk about that here, and I do show folks how to basically turn basil into a basil bush, which is really great. You get all sorts of basil, where it quintuples or 10 times its normal size. Look at that. That is some good root length in there. Love that. So let's get this guy in there. These guys, again, I'm assuming. So yeah, looking pretty good. This is gonna be all right. So as we fill this tray up, I'm gonna come back around. I've got water, and we'll just basically just fill up the bottom of this and let it naturally wick the water up into the plants. Like that is the idea. Pretty straightforward. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I was saying, I did run the heater in here a little bit before we started. The sun's been on and off, so it is absolutely pineapple belongs on pizza. Of course it does. It's not my jam, but you know what? If you like pineapple on your pizza, do your thing. That's a great question. Yeah, when I traveled in the Middle East, people were putting corn and all sorts of stuff on their pizza, and I was like, all right, we'll give it a try. And you know what? It was good. So it was good stuff. Uh, so anyways, I had to run the heater in here a little bit because it was definitely frosty this morning. I mean, it was chilly, and it just wasn't warming up because we weren't getting any sun. So, but the sun came out for a little bit, and now it's clouded back over again. See, just making our way through here. And as these guys continue to grow out, you know, I'll thin them out later. I want to see who's actually going to survive to the next round, and then we'll thin them out. We've got some, I know, and by the way, we've got some other work. I'll have another stream here probably this week, later in the week, where we will be in here actually setting up the legit, you know, extra shelves will come in. I'm going to get the overhead cam set up and kind of show you guys what it looks like when I'm in here for, you know, we're set till we got the more, I want to say, it's not professional the way I want to say it here, but just a better experience for folks that are coming in, hopping on the chat and hanging out. You know what I mean? So we'll have that on the stream too. I had a lot of people asking questions about that. I think for a lot of folks, they don't really know everything that goes into streaming and producing these things. And you know what? It is, oh, I got ahead of myself there. There is a little bit that goes to it, you know. Like it's taken me a while to actually land on the mic set that I have. I just haven't been happy with the sound that I have. So what if Bigfoot steals them? Well, one, I have cameras all the way around here, so hopefully if Bigfoot does steal these things, I'm gonna have it on camera and then I can sell the footage. And it'll be better than the grainy, you know, was it not even was it 360p that we've been getting for a lot of the Bigfoot footage. But I'm not too worried about that either, though. Honestly, what I'm more worried about is when we get the bears come in town here. Not right now. There's plenty of food for them to eat, but when they wake up, see, that's what I'm talking about, Julie. Julie, you get it. If you put on pizza, what you like on your pizza, right? But the biggest thing is the bears. It's the midwinter like warm up that happens. They tend to come in here into town looking for snacks, either on a lot of it has to do with the bird feeders. They want the suet. That is out there, and they will come and just destroy things. So there's that. But also, I'm always worried they're gonna be like, man, I bet you there's snacks inside this little house over here. So, it's that's my bigger one there. So, and yeah, like my neighbor, he had his backyard got absolutely trashed like 2 years ago from the bear. We have a couple of bears, but we have the bear is the main one that is pretty fearless around here. Doesn't hurt anybody. Just it's like, yeah, I'm here. I'm the apex predator. It's a black bear. I want to say it's pretty much harmless, but it is for the most. It's not going to mess with anyone, but it definitely knows we aren't going to do anything to it if it's because we can't hunt in town here. So it just likes to wander through and just chomp on all of our stuff. So what are you guys doing out there? All right, I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but my chickens are talking to me. They're squawking. I think they want some more lettuce. So the mixture that we're doing here, since I'm like where was I at here? That's right here. So the mixture that I'm using, it's pretty straightforward. It's going to be, I just use standard old potting mix, right? Nothing crazy. I don't really try to overthink it too much. I have a good, so this is here. This is what I got, the regular potting mix, which you can see, right? Just like this, standard is really, it's hydrophobic. It doesn't like to absorb water. So that's one of the reasons like we always try to make sure stuff is hydrated first, which is why this looks darker than what you're used to. I pour water in here ahead of time for this, but it's also, I cut it, to use a street phrase on that, street slang. It's usually about a 60-40 split between the potting soil and then also this coco noir, which is, I'm going to show you some of this here, from coconut pith. So I'll show you what it comes in. So what it does, when you order them, they come in these bricks, right? Compressed down, nice and solid. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but nice and solid, right? And what I do is I actually soak them in water. That's what you do. You soak them in water. It takes about a half hour. It loosens them up to then you get this. They come right apart. And now you have this stuff also, pretty powdery, right? But when it's soaked in here, it gets nice and dark and it holds onto water for like ever and a day. So what I do is a mixture of potting soil. I'll put a little extra in here just for fun, because we're going to mix up some more here in a little bit as I work through this. All right. You can see what it looks like in there. So we just kind of, it's mixed in here. So now, yeah. So now, whenever I have this in here, it's going to hold on to water usually about a day longer. Like it'll stay hydrated for about a day longer than just the regular potting soil will, which is why I use it in here, because I'll have the water in here. And there's days where I forget to come out here, or if we get a really sunny day and it's super hot, where this will have lots of evaporation will happen and the pool of water will go away. But the coco noir and everything will hold on to the water inside of the cups here. So that's why I use this stuff. And also, this coco noir goes a long way. Potting soil is kind of expensive. And I also try not to... Oh, thanks, Sandy. I appreciate that. That's pretty funny. That's probably one of the funnier little notes I've had in a minute. So thank you for that. But this coco noir stuff goes forever. Like it really is. It lasts a long time. Like this will probably get me through this year for what I have, with just what I have left over there. So that's funny. And again, I get all of that off of Amazon, where I'll get that. And then the potting mix, this is probably just because I'm extra lazy at times. Depending on what I have as far as for an order, I'll also throw in a bag of potting mix with Amazon too. But otherwise you just run down to the big box store and go grab it. But all right. So again, thank you everybody who's been swinging by. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps the algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope to earn your subscription today while we are transplanting my lettuce here. And we are mentally preparing for the snow that is going to arrive anytime now. I was looking at the radar and, you can actually see it. So, Guru, what's up? No, nothing. Definitely not the temperature. Although it's 60 in here right now, it's not too bad. It's 40 outside. What are you grumping about? My chickens have been extra noisy today. Not sure what's up with that. And their production has definitely fallen off. You can tell with the lack of light. They have definitely fallen off, which is okay. You know, they deserve a little break too, I guess, wintertime. Although, you know, yesterday we had, they had a lot of activity, a lot of food, and a lot of water, like a lot of sunlight hitting them. And you can just tell they're getting ready to bust out a bunch of eggs for me, which is good. So let me think. As far as for, yeah, I'm trying to think. Yesterday, there was some other stuff I wanted to tell you about yesterday I was working on. Oh, it's going to come back. Oh, actually, we also got, guys, that's what it was. Can't show you my address for reasons, right? We're going to be looking at this today. I got a brand new grow light. Brand new grow light. We're going to pop this out here in a little bit, probably in between. Good Lord, girls. Can you guys hear this? I ought to put a mic out there just so you can hear them. They are just being loud and cranky today. Anyways, new grow light. We're going to check this out. I'm testing out some new grow lights as well too. So we're going to look at this in a bit. So there's that, because I'm going to have to do some transitioning around here as far as probably can wait till December or January to do it. But I do want to get some stuff here. So, all right. So let me check something real quick here. That remove. Okay. Yeah, it's funny too. You mentioned about the bear hanging around and the chickens, right? So the thing with so the the chickens are inside of a compound inside of another compound. So like it's multi layers for the bear to get in here. Most of the time, like saying the deer will come by, they love it. I've come out here multiple mornings and they're just out here staring at the chickens, just kind of doing this thing back and forth, and the chickens are running back and forth, and the deer are. It's hilarious. So I'm obviously living in a Disney princess fairy tale world is what's happening. Because although if the deer look in my freezer, they might see their cousin. Because I do have two freezers full of venison right now. And I got got one of my friend's kid is going to be filling another tag for me here in a little bit. So, maybe not full on Disney princess stuff, but pretty close. They have a lot of fun. Okay. So yeah, I'm excited about that light because I have a full setup in here too with multiple lights that I have. And I have no idea. I don't know how to answer that one, but I don't. I always heard I always heard Goofy was the trouble one, but yeah, I wouldn't be a bit surprised too. All right. So again, for those that are just joining right now, currently we are transplanting my relatively new, I think they germinated a week ago, and it takes about 3 weeks for the lettuce to germinate. So these are a month old now, month old lettuce, and we're going to start another batch of lettuce here as well too. So as I transplant these, we start our next round of lettuce, and that's just a cycle. I'm going to constantly just have them going. Oh, I'm sorry. They're just extra noisy today. They're normally loud, but this is just too funny. I got this stuff going on here. So, okay. Anyways. Oh, hey, unofficial National Weather Service. Hey, so how much snow should we be getting in Mason County, Michigan by through Tuesday, unofficially, of course. Tuesday of next week. Just curious. Thank you for hopping in here. So, again, everyone, I definitely appreciate everybody here that's been coming in. This is just so much. It's so much fun just coming out here and just chatting with y'all on this. I did this for so long, just me, and I was like, man, I should be streaming this. I don't know why I'm not. Just come hang out with some folks, and yeah, it's been great. But when you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell too, so you know when I do come live, because I will be, especially as we get later in this, well, January, February timeframe, February, March, in those areas. We'll be out here. We're going to be out here, and it won't be on this. Good Lord, Ryan, use your words. It won't be on YouTube Shorts. It will be on my regular YouTube channel. Also, I've been in contact with a couple different, gardening companies per se. I'm going to be reaching out to Organo Republic. So what I want to do is host some live streams where I actually have the industry, like the actual industry specialists, come in and provide some education and insight on the different aspects of what they have. So like, for instance, what I want to do is, hey, thanks for looking into that, unofficial. So like for instance, Organo Republic, I want to see if I can get someone from their PR or, whoever, to come in and answer some questions about how do they go about managing their seeds, what's the whole process look like, how do they validate germination rates, all those different things, so we can get educated on that. So, oh, cool, thank you for that. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great, thank you. Yeah, and so I got those folks there. I've got people with Grub Terra. I've got a relationship with them. They send me stuff every now and again for the chickens. So I want to see if I can get one or two of their folks to come on for a couple live streams. So, and we'll make sure we advertise those, market those correctly, so folks know to be able to hop on the live stream and ask their questions like in real time that we can kind of work through. I'm working and trying to figure out how to better deliver a better experience for y'all. That is also impactful, because I think if we're on here and we're doing gardening, we're involved, we enjoy doing this. At least me, I want to be able to, talk to the experts, because not an expert. This is just Ryan in his greenhouse in Michigan, to be able to ask better questions on those things. So that's, some of the stuff that we're in the work on right now. So, again, there's a process to it, but I do believe that there, so again, this is just, I'm going to monologue for a second here. Not that I haven't been, but one of the things, work on donation basis. Oh, here we go. Weather service, Veterans Day, mostly sunny, high and low 40s Tuesday. Okay, cool. Thank you. I'm going to read into that. I think that we can do better in the YouTube space to deliver some better educational stuff when it comes around here. A lot of the gardening stuff, it just seems, I don't want to say it here. It's on the technical side, but also be able to get in and be able, it's typically one-sided, right? I'm gonna come through and here's how I do it. And then you leave a comment and hopefully the person replies back, and then you're back and forth in the comment. Rather, instead in real time, you're like, Ryan, why does your potting mix look so different? Oh, well, this is what I do with it, and this is why I do it, and this is the reason behind. Okay, and we can talk through and actually have that back and forth. I think it goes back to my time as an educator. I just like, aquaponics, hydroponics, cool. Actually, I'm good with the weather. Thank you. I think the biggest piece here is that, thank you for looking into that. Thank you. So that's kind of where my brain's at here, is as I'm building out my subscriber base here, and I really want to be able to deliver a better experience. And YouTube pushes, they really want this, like, this YouTube, like the live stream on Shorts. So this is, again, the reason why I do it. I'm getting, pushed out to you guys in this case, but I also want to make sure we have ample opportunity for back and forth to have these conversations, because I'm old school Twitch guy. Like, I love Twitch because you can get on there, one, you're in the chat, but also you can interact with folks in like real time. So I think and also Twitch is just kind of garbagey too. So I don't know. That's just kind of where my brain's at. I know it was kind of a all over the place type of discussion, but I just kind of want to share that with you guys, kind of what I'm thinking, where I'm looking at these things. I think I'm just going to transplant a couple of these guys all in one, just these different pots, because I want to, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't want to. Oh, okay. That's why she's laying an egg. She's getting ready to pop out an egg. Okay, that's what it was. Hey, Bill. Welcome. Where are you from, Bill? Thanks for joining us. Okay, so let's talk about let's talk about actually looking at the healthier roots on your plants, right? Especially when you guys are starting this year. Awesome. Thanks, Nubs. Appreciate it. Yeah, I should be on tomorrow. We'll see. Depends how I feel with what the weather's like and everything, but I should be on tomorrow. So let's talk about these different types of when we're dealing with our plants here. So one of the things that we want to be able to do here is see how the roots are coming down here, and everybody is basically straight down for the most part. That's what you're looking for. That's let you know things are healthy. If you start seeing, and if I look on the bottom here, do you see how stuff is kind of going kind of sideways and all over the place here? That's the start of things not going well. All right. And that's what we're basically where you will have the roots where they will, and I'll show you on one of the clear ones here, to give you a better idea here. Where'd you guys go? Here you go. I don't have any yet. But when you start seeing them and they're going like around like this, they end up being called a root bound. And that's all sorts of bad stuff happening right there. So where you don't want that to happen. Excuse me. As these things are, as the plants are growing, like the roots are going to get stronger and stronger, right? Well, they end up contracting around the actual root ball here, and it's restricting water, and mainly the water flow and your airflow. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in here, right? Inside here, again, what we have is there's going to be bacteria that are growing in here and living their best life and sharing nutrients, right, with the plant. That's like the agreement that they have with the plant, right? Is that I'm going to share some sugar with you, you're going to give me some nutrients, and we're going to do the thing. But the bacteria that you need in here, they're aerobic bacteria, which is they need oxygen. Okay. Um, they need oxygen. So what ends up happening when you get things that are root bound, right, and it's all filled with the roots and it's all crunched in there, you can't get water down there, which isn't good. On the other side, though, is that there's no oxygen getting inside of there, which is killing the microbes, which means you're not getting good nutrient transfer, which is also not good. Okay, so those are the things that you want to make sure that you're just staying on top of there, and why we want to make sure that you don't let your plants get root bound, and this is why the strategy is. And I'll show you on here, as soon as your 1 inch pots, like the stuff that's in my 1 inch little pods here, they start getting roots that are starting to show, I want to get them into a larger one immediately. Okay. Because we want those roots to continue spreading out and not start going around, because now you have to clip them or retrain them, and it just stresses out the plant. You really just want to be able to go and continue to move them up into larger and larger sections. Now, this is the biggest I typically, is that true statement? Yeah, this is typically the largest that I let these get. There's a couple of other plants that I do, not very often, that I'll get into something bigger, but these are, these are like 20 ounce little pots. This is typically the largest that I'll get, because by the time they get to where they're starting to get close to root bound, they're going to be in soil somewhere else. Okay, so one with root hormones, the other already had roots. Okay, cool. Yeah, root hormone. I'm actually going to be working on that for some trees um, that I want to propagate. I want to propagate those, so I'm going to be experimenting with root hormone. I'll have some videos on that. I am completely a novice on that stuff. However, it's something I do want to learn and get better at. All right, so let's get this here. All right. And again, thank you everybody who's been hitting the like button, who has been subscribed. Thank you so much and everything. So watermelons are as easy as they come, man. Like, you just got to get them in the ground after basically after the fear of frost is done with, and then you don't touch them until. So let's say that's May, June. Let's say it's May for you. Mid-May is no more frost is going to happen in your area. Don't touch them again until don't touch them until September, end of September. They need like 120 days, 160 days to go. And that's really it. Just let them do their thing. That's the one thing when it comes to those melons, gourds, those type of plants. They grow. You don't really have to do much with them. They just need a lot of space. And the thing you got to keep in mind here is that, especially when it comes to those, actually, let's get this. Goodbye, buddy. They need a lot of space, And when you think they're ready, they're not. That's kind of the little hidden secret with watermelons. They aren't really ripe until well after you think they are. So with that, it's a great question. So when we're looking at our seeds, right, that we're gonna have here, so I'm gonna grab a random one here. What do we got? I don't want arugula though. I said random, and then I immediately said I don't want arugula. God almighty, Ryan. Press. Oh, here we go. We're gonna do pumpkin. It's not quite watermelon, but it's in the same world, right? All right. So this is Connecticut field pumpkin, right? This is what we're gonna be doing here. All right. Again, this is from that Organo Republic pack that we have here. What I want you to do is make sure that you pay attention on the back here. They always are good about letting you know what how to actually plant them. Right. So when you look at your seeds over here, they will tell you, make sure I can get this here, that how long it's going to be. So in this case, full sun, what do we got here? 18 to 36 inches of spacing, 1 inch down. And then the last thing they talk about here is 110 days to harvest. Okay. If it says 110 days, give it 110 days. Do not harvest them early. When they tell you what harvest is, that's what they mean. Trust the people that are there. And that's one of the reasons I want to have these folks on, is so we can ask those questions about that and get educated. Like, hey, how do you know, like, how do you determine it's 110 days? What's your process? So we can learn, ask those questions. So, oh yeah, I still got to empty this guy out because I need one more. All right. All right. So here you go. This is a great example. So this one is starting to get root bound at the bottom. See how it's going around the lip here? So that's where that one is starting to be, is on the beginning of being root bound. Not a huge deal. We got it early and everything. And again, it's only going to be in that pot for a little bit longer. But that's what we're looking for. And if you do come across a plant, let's say you've done your due diligence, but you still end up with, it's Organo Republic. You can find it on Amazon. I'll show you. This is, kind of got it covered up there, but so it's Organo Republic. This is the 55 seed pack. You can find it on Amazon. And these are really good seeds. They germinate really, really well. I'm so happy with how they germinate. I haven't had any issue with their stuff germinating at all. So, like I said, I'm going to reach out to them, and I'm going to see if I can get them on a stream or two, to go there. I was saying the other day, again, for those that are joining here, had 20,000 people on the stream the other day. Like, this is a little bit more mild. We got I don't know. How many we got on here? It says 55. Is that a good number? 51 here. Yeah, so we got like 51 folks on here. I had like 20,000 on the other day. So yeah, no, you're very welcome. Thank you for asking. That's what I'm here for, Yeah, it's just kind of wild how the streams go like that, but hell, the other day when I was doing coffee, it was 9,000 people were hanging out while we were doing coffee. What are you doing down there, you? You guys want to go for a look? I'm in the middle of I'm in a good stopping point here. You guys want to go check out the chickens? Let's go see the chickens. They obviously want some attention. They're being loud. Let's go see the garden, because they're out in my garden. So let's do that. I'm gonna flip you guys around. All right, and we're gonna go check them out. All right, let's go for a walk out in the cold. Oof. All right, so I'll give you guys a quick little garden tour here. So this, you can see everything is just kind of dying off a bit, but this is the, again, my raised gardens that I have over in this spot here. Last of my tomatoes still hanging on. I've got my marigolds, but I'm letting them all continue to go to seed here. So you can see I got all my marigold seeds. They're all doing their stuff. That's how easy it is, folks. Like, I've got here's one package of marigold seeds. Like when you buy them at the store, it's off of one. That's how easy it is. That's what I love about marigolds. They propagate. They're easy to grow. Here's where I had all my cucumbers at. What are you doing, honey? So this is my garden enclosure that I have. It's 25 by 50. No, we're not coming out. No, 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 no. Nope, 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 nope. So that's Honey, everybody. Honey is my nosier of my chickens. There's a couple things I've installed recently. I had a video on here, so I just recently installed this. It's an automatic. Oh, someone is definitely getting ready to have eggs. No, you can't see her on there. She's just poking through. We'll take a look in a second. So this is automatic. It runs off basically how much light is around here. So opens when the sun comes up, closes really at dark, dark, dark to give these girls plenty of time to get back here. So, all right. On a previous stream, just so you guys are aware, all of this here on my chicken run, this is actually for my trellises. I don't know if that's the right way to say that or not, but this is for my tomato trellises. I took them down. They were over in another section. We'll look at that over in this area over there. So I took them down. Hey, honey. Honey will follow me around this entire place here. So, hey, Shannon. Good to see you. Oh, let's see what's going on in here, guys. How's everybody doing in there? You guys good? Yeah. Noisy today. All right. So anyways, so they're just here in this coop. This is the last year for this coop out here. We're going to build a larger one in there for my chickens in the backyard. But anyways, my tomato trellises have been actually in this section just over here, this area over here for the last couple of years, but they need to move. So you shouldn't be growing. Sorry, the chickens are hilarious. You shouldn't grow tomatoes too often. Oh, nice. Yeah, no roosters for me. We don't allow roosters in the town here. It's just the way they operate. So you want to move your tomatoes, and so that's part of what I'm doing here by moving the trellis system that I have. It's going to move over the different section of my garden that I can, it keeps the disease pressure down. But other ways to manage the disease pressure you can do is this has compost on top of it, and then on top of it also, you can see I've got my leaves as well. Again, it just provides mulch. If you're not covering your soil, you really should. It's super important. Another stream that we had here, we built out this outdoor set of nesting boxes for the girls, so they can be out here in the sun, out here instead of being stuck in there. And they're loud. Let's see. Honey's checking it out. What are you doing, huh? What are you doing? What are you doing? And they've been digging it. They really like it. Get some chance to kind of come up there. They can be outside and still just be in a comfortable spot. Okay. All right. Other stuff here just is more fun than anything. I just want to see how long my artichokes last. I just grew them just to grow them. They're still completely wrong. Yeah, it's the wrong everything to grow these yet. I wanted to grow artichokes just to have it. So the chickens, they've been kind of working through the last little bit of it here, doing that. So, too much water and dying. What I would recommend is you can actually pick up a, no, honey, no, we're not going, guys. So when it comes to managing like your water and stuff like that, you can pick up hygrometers, right? Where you put them in the soil, it'll measure how much water you have if you're that concerned. But mostly, if you want to get more organic matter in your soil, you want to just make sure you got a good mix on there for good drainage. That'd be the biggest thing. All right, so we're gonna go over here. So this is other side here. I gotta cover these up today. It's gonna be one of the last things I do before I go in. These are all my strawberries. They're kind of, they're done for the year, but they need to get covered up to protect them so that they overwinter, and then they'll come right back in the spring. And these are ever-bearing, so they've been producing strawberries right up until, gosh, I want to say 3 weeks ago. I still had some strawberries that were popping out here. So this is back where I have my compost is at. So we got actual compost going here. I got grounds from the coffee shop in here, which I compost that as well. See, we got espresso beans. It's good stuff in there. So this compost is doing its thing. It's covered up with leaves to help from water to wick away. But you can see the temperature currently in there is 136 degrees inside of here. So 136 degrees, and you can feel it. but that'll freeze solid here in a little bit. And then this is the first bit of leaves that I have for my area here. And I got all those still for my neighbor's yard and her backyard and this spot here. So anyways, that's the tour, guys. That's kind of what I'm working with here. A lot of good stuff. So, all right, let's get back in here and guys show you here. So this is my greenhouse. So last year for this greenhouse, I'm building a new one next year, but I've got it insulated on 3 sides over here where it's actually got the foam insulation. It does have venting in here that kicks on. I got a little solar panel right here. It kicks on at certain temperatures to keep things a certain way. And then, like I said, we have bubble wrap here, but I will be putting some foam insulation along the wall here over the next couple, next little bit, probably in the next month. And that foam insulation is really simple. It's just, there you go. Sorry, getting reset up here. Thank you for your patience. You can actually see, this is just a half acre, nothing too crazy. You know, and then I also have my orchard too. I've got 2 rows of fruit trees on the other side of the property as well. So, but you can see here, I actually have the foam insulation. It's right here. It's going to go on this side because I have this reflective insulation goes down this side here. So the sunlight comes in. This is south over this direction, hits here, comes down, warms everything up. All the sun is happening. So it's good stuff. Whew. All right. I think I may actually turn my heater back on. It is getting chilly. Actually, you know, I need to put my gloves back on. That'll solve that problem. Okay, so where were we? Oh yeah. So again, that's the tour. You know, I try to do it every stream, just kind of show you where guys we're at. Those tours are going to come to an end here shortly because we're going to be covered in snow here in a little bit. All right, so all of these go back in here. We're just going to basically save, reconstitute all this. And then we're going to rehydrate. I'm going to mix up some more here so you guys get to see me actually mix this stuff up. And then we'll start our next bit here. So this can go here. Because I have some in here. I want to mix some more up because we're going to be doing, I got some more we got to do. So let's mix up some fresh Ryan style potting mix. So hopefully that'll be okay here. So like I said, we do a mixture of potting soil and that cocoa noir. Let's just take that all off, make it easier to pour this. Okay. And I've got a few bins I have to fill also, so there's that. And like I said, we've got our cocoa noir that we talked about earlier, which is this is just coconut husk, right? That we're going to mix in here. And this has already been hit with water one time to kind of loosen it up. You can see how easily it's coming apart. You need to do that because otherwise it's a brick, guys. You can't do it otherwise. So I let this stuff soak for a little bit first. And especially when over winter, it'll be humid in here, but it's just so dry around here too. So, you know, especially in the winter time. So you just want to make sure that you give anything you can do to help retain moisture is just going to be welcome. It'll be a good thing. Yeah, attitude. All right. So I'll show you what we got going on here. Kind of consistency, right? 60-40. Well, maybe that's 59-41. Either way, 60-40-ish. And then we're going to go through here. Going to put for my water here, we're just going to prehydrate a little bit. Dump a bunch of water in there to start. Just give it a good mix. You can see I still got dust and everything popping up. which is fine. I'm gonna hit it one more time. And this is really the easiest way to get this stuff hydrated, guys. It just makes everything easier. There you go. Dump that guy out. It's okay. Plus, I get to play in the dirt. Come on. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. Not trying to cough in the mic. There we go. So, and you'll see here, like, I'll give this a squeeze. We don't have any water coming out, but it holds its shape. That's what we're looking for. And I can crumple it back up. Okay. So now, there's a little bit of a peppermint tea break here. Oh, that's good stuff. Oh. So, friend of mine, she is I don't know, she does dietary sciences. She just got back from Taiwan. She was in Taipei for a conference. She came back. She pretty much let me know that I need to stop having Splenda and all the basically the calorie-free sweeteners. She said, just go back to sugar. It's messing up your body chemistry, Ryan. Just if you can have tea without sugar, that's obviously the best. But if you need it, you can do it. So I've just been switching away from anything sweet in any of my teas, and it's just been it's not the same, but I'm getting used to it. So, but I do like this peppermint tea without any sweetener in it. It is pretty good stuff. Yum. Okay, so let's figure out what lettuce we're gonna do, guys. I think that's probably the big thing because I got the butter lettuce going. We got the mescaline, that gourmet mix. So this is like one of the ones we got going, right? The mescaline. I think everybody's familiar with that mix. And then this is the butter lettuce we've been looking at, the little gem. All right, there's this one. Don't want to do romaine. It is too just annoying to do. Let's see. Hey, Edwin. All right, so let's go through the list here. Let's see what I got. Because I'm constantly trying to look at some different types of lettuces to grow. Butter crunch. Oh, you know what? That's what we're gonna do. One of my favorites, black-seeded Simpson. We're gonna do a whole thing of black-seeded Simpson. That's what's gonna happen. Oh yeah, clematis. That's growing this year too. That's gonna be a separate one. Right? Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Yep, we're gonna do black-seeded Simpson. I love this one. Hoosiers, go IU. It's awesome. I'm here in Michigan, do the best you can. I don't do the college sports, but it's always fun this time of year. Everybody's got the cheering for their team. So if you guys haven't had black seeded Simpson before, haven't grown it, I highly recommend it. It is just it's delicious. So Matt Damon stuck on Mars. That's too funny. I was just actually talking with my business partner at the coffee shop. My family thinks I look like Matt Damon at times. I think that they need to get better prescription glasses, but whatever. That's funny. The fact that I got another Matt Damon comment came up today just kind of cracked me up. Good Lord, they are noisy. So we're also going to be starting soon spinach, but this is going to be probably in 2 weeks. We're going to get some stuff. Yeah, burpees I'm pretty happy with the burpees here. Same thing, yeah. Basically. But this is actually the seed group that I typically have been using lately is Organo Republic. Get them off of Amazon. They got a good little mixes that they put together. So, oh man, sorry about that. Oof. All right, so let's get this going here. So we're gonna get these seeds, this seed pack up and running. It's like this is gonna be my last. This poor guy is like on its last legs here. I mean, you're gonna be season 3 with this. It's definitely coming apart at the seams, but we're getting there. So, I'm on the west shore of Michigan. So I'm on Lake Michigan, north of Muskegon, near a town called Ludington. I'm just inland a bit. So, all right. So let's talk through the process on here, guys. All right. So when we're filling these up, I want to walk you through. So what we want to do is we're going to fill this up. We're going to come through and just pack this thing, right? But not hard. And we're going to fill. So all I'm doing is just filling this up. Right. Getting everybody kind of topped off here. Then I'm going to show you the thing that a lot of folks miss that we always make sure we do whenever we're doing our seeds here, guys. Okay. Now, some of you may be jumping ahead knowing what I'm going to do, so let's not spoil it for everybody else in the chat. Okay. So we got these guys completely filled up here. Okay. So everybody's filled up to the brim. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So hopefully I earn your subscription today. Yeah, absolutely. We're all learning here. I'm learning every day too. So, okay, you can see it. Okay. So with this, see how we're filled to the brim? So what ends up happening on here when you're filling up these pods is that you're actually, one, things aren't fully compressed, but two, there's air pockets. So let's see what we can find. So you want to go through and just lightly push, and you'll see I barely pushed on those, and you can just see how not just how quickly it compressed. Like some of them, like this one here, I push, it's not too bad. Other ones like that on the corner, I mean, good Lord. So you end up with these air pockets that we want to take care of. So here's the deal. All right, so we've got your roots, right? Ever germinates. The roots are going down and they're going through they're going through the soil. Yay, life is good. So they poke through and all of a sudden there's this air pocket going on. So they're either A, going to continue to go down here, but also they dry out. So that's a problem. But two, they're going to try to expend energy to grow to try to figure it out, or they have to reroute around the air gap. Like all these bad things that are there. We don't want it fully compressed. We just want to push it down so that the roots can go bounce from, connect to the different soil particles, right? Because if you do run into an air pocket, that root's going to have a very difficult time growing, right? And so it ends up wasting energy trying to figure out where to put roots instead of growing, right? It's trying to figure out where to put roots. We don't want that, which is going to negatively affect your overall growth. So we're just going to take a couple seconds here. Nothing too crazy. We're not going to stress about it. Stress attracts squash beetles, so we don't do that, right? So we're just not going to do that. We're just going to come through and just give this a little push. Just a little push here. Right? So we got that filled. And then we're just going to lightly come through again. Cover it up. Right? Just like that. And since this is lettuce seeds, basically, you just put on the surface and kind of push them down, and that'll be good. Right? Because they like to have light in order to germinate. They're kind of like petunias. We're just going to do this right there. And then I'm going to have you guys come over so you can watch this a little closer as we put the seeds on. Kind of what that looks like. So let's wander over here and see what we got going on. Let's see. There we go. Take my gloves off. So again, black-seeded Simpson. Before we do anything on these, we always do the same thing. We're going to read the back and make sure that we're good here. Let's see if you can guys get up here and see this with me here. We can do this as a team. Probably can't see it too well, but I'll help you out with this. So on the back here, let us know we need to have full sun, 45 days to harvest. The depth that we want to plant is 1/4 inch. And then we're going to thin to basically every 8 inches, right? Because that's how big they get. And then you always want to pay attention to that. So that lets you know 45 days, you're going to be ready to go. And then, but that depth is 1/4. So the thing to keep in mind with your, oh man, okay. The thing to keep in mind with your, like the rule of thumb, I think is what I want to say. It's probably a better way to say that. When it comes to seeds, first, you don't drop them. So let's not do that. But what you want to do is you plant them typically twice as deep as they are, like the sides of them. So like in this case, I mean, you see how fine these are. These are just little baby nothings. Like nothing really even there to them, right? Just these really fine. So this is where you get to that 1/4 inch, right? Just really surface level and just going to push them down and kind of very lightly cover them, okay? But it's usually typically double the size. Basically, you want to twice as deep as they are wide or the size of the seeds. Oh, those girls are having a blast in there. Okay. All right. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You can either kind of shake these out, and then I'm going to end up using not all this. So we're just going to dump a bunch here. And you can see even with the seeds here, I've got seeds, but I also have some extra like chaff left over too. You can see that? Little extra chaff, those little white spots in there. So, hey, Don, welcome. How you doing, Don? Thanks for joining. And we're just going to come along here and just lightly dump some in here. Right? And we're just really just getting them on the surface. Not too worried because we're going to come back through and push them all in. Now, by the way, on an unrelated note with chickens, and they make all this noise, right, when they're getting ready to lay eggs. I actually learned why they do that. They're actually letting the rest of the flock know that someone's laying eggs and they're going to be vulnerable. So they're all a bit more focused to keep an eye out for any predators. I actually learned that the other day. So there's that. So that bear we were talking about earlier, everybody's gonna be on a look for that. Okay, so what I also love about this when we get into with the lettuce packets, right? Getting these, just the sheer volume of seeds that you get. Like I can have an entire year's worth of like all winter with all this for basically the cost of one packet of seeds. It's really great. Okay. So we got these guys here have been pushed in. Pull it up, you can kind of see them on the. So you can see where they're on the surface, like right here. See where they're on the surface here, guys? And we're just going to come through and do this right here. Just kind of lightly just cover them up. There you go. That's the entire thing we're doing here, folks. So that's what we're doing. Just going to kind of lightly cover them up. Nothing too crazy. And going to keep so with this the potting soil mix is already moist, right? We already added water to it, so it's hydrated. So it's going to immediately start transferring water over to the seed, like immediately, which is great. Now it's just going to have to go through a couple cycles of, dark, cold, or sorry, dark, warm, light to signal, hey, it's time to grow. Now, typically your seeds also need to be around the potting soil where you plant them in. Typically is around 70 degrees. And that's why you have, what is this? Get that out of there. That's why we have warming mats, which will be breaking out here in the next month or so to help stuff germinate, because it's going to be too hard to maintain that 70 degrees. So we will be switching over to those. So hey Paulette, how are you? Hey Paulette, where are you from? So again, just a reminder, folks, when you hop in the chat, please let us know where you're from. We always got a ton of folks on here. It's always good to know. I'm up here in northern Michigan, so welcome. Again, if you guys haven't yet already, hopefully I earned this today. Love to have the subscribers on here. I'm inching closer to 2,000 subscribers for me, which is just amazing. I was at 600, I think, in April. So it's been nice. I've had a nice little resurgence of folks coming in. So it's really great. It's a lot of fun. Get to hang out with all sorts of people. Okay. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is actually, all right, so these will be bottom watered, right? So we always want to get stuff that looks like this. And then, so that way it's got the tray that it'll go into that will fill with water. And what that'll do, especially when you come to these type of seeds, right? Especially when you're starting something new like this, there's a tendency to where it can wash off. I also like wash off the seed. Sometimes that happens, but mainly, well, other thing we're worried about is the seeds getting buried too far because they get overhydrated. The water will push them down, and now when the seed germinates, it's got too far to go, and you don't get them. They don't do their thing. North Carolina, all right. North Carolina. Well, welcome. Good to have you on here, Paula. Do you do a lot of work in your garden? Do you have container gardens? What type of gardening do you do? All right, so next we're gonna water these guys up next. Move them over. So as a reminder, this is all of our mescaline. Denise is in Ohio. Awesome. Well, I'm in Michigan, so just don't. We won't tell anyone that I said it's awesome that you live in Ohio. Okay, we'll just keep that between us, just between us girls. Okay. I'd get disowned up here in Michigan if I said someone in Ohio was awesome. You know how that is. But yeah, we won't tell anyone. That's just between us. All right. So again, here's all this. Okay, got it. Oh, awesome. Greenhouse for your deck. Oh, great. They have some. I mean, you can. What I tell everybody who's looking as far as, have you had any sort of greenhouse before? Have you done anything with it? Just curious. Container for you, Paul. Okay. That's so great. I love hearing about all these guys. So we do a little bit of everything in here. Like right now, this is, I mean, it's obviously container gardening, right? As we're doing stuff, because we're getting stuff started here. But oh, that's great. Awesome. Where did you vacation at, Amy? It's still wild to me. I get to live in a place that people pay a lot of money to come vacation in. Like I got a main river just over here, Pier Marquette. People pay like $2,000 to come and fish this thing. I just walk down there and throw a lot. It's so wild. So, oh, cattle panel greenhouse. Good for you. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, this is the last year with this greenhouse. I got this from Wayfair. Um, it's 6 by 7 by 16 is where it's at, and it works great. I just want something a little bit bigger. I'm gonna actually do it like almost like a shed, build out a wooden one, insulate everything up right. So, that's cool. Awesome. Oh yeah, they are a lot of fun. Sleeping Bear Dunes, Traverse City. Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, I'm down by Ludington. That's the area where I'm at. So I've been in between Muskegon and Traverse City. That's where I'm at, just along the West Shore. So, started snowing. Oh, hey, Shawnee. No, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, but we knew this was coming for a while. Say hi to Shawnee, everybody. Hey, if you get, she's got her own channel over there doing stuff, but she's in Minnesota, freezing. So, um, so cattle paddle greenhouse. Yeah. So the thing with your green, now again, these greenhouses are so great. I absolutely love them. They take a little while to really figure out how to use them right and everything, but once you get them squared away, man, are they ever great. Like you can just really kind of get comfortable in how to use them. Because they are a little tricky at times. Like they do have their own little issues per se that you got to learn how to work through and be prepared for. So, uh, between Frankfurt and Traverse, yeah, there's so much stuff in this state that people just aren't aware of. North of I-96, which is that um, Grand Rapids to Muskegon line, right? Like that little spot, everything north. People don't even realize all the amazing things that are there, except along the lakeshore. Like everyone knows, Frankfurt, obviously Ludington's a big spot. We got the car ferry and whatnot. So yeah. Ooh, heat with compost this year. Yeah, so that's actually going to be that's in the designs that I'm putting together for my greenhouse that I have, because I compost. And like I don't know if you were on the stream earlier. We did a little tour with it and just kind of show folks didn't know what my garden looked like and everything, but went over to my compost pile. It's sitting at 140 degrees right now, which that heat should be in here, right? That should be right now. I should be just living my best life being warm instead of, the opposite of that. So I'm with you there. Okay. So up next, I'm gonna let these guys go. So I've got my basil. I started some new basil, just a couple plants here. So these are gonna be our, we'll let these guys go for a little bit longer. I want them to kind of go up a little bit, and then we're gonna transplant these, and these are gonna be my basil bushes for this year. Over the winter. I'm probably gonna start one more set of them just in case I have any, drama or trouble comes up with those. But now what we're gonna do is I've got my onions, right, that are here. We're gonna transplant these guys. We're gonna move them into this container. All right, we're gonna get them, break them out of this, thin them down, and put them into this spot right here. Mainly just because I want to give them a little bit more space to grow and spread their roots, right, and do the thing. All right, so that's why we made up this extra, so we'd have some stuff here. Oh, geez. Oh my goodness. So hey, so Shawnee, like, what are you just getting a dusting of snow right now? Or you guys getting dumped on? So Shawnee's in Minnesota, by the way, folks. So whatever she gets, I get a few hours later. So always curious what she has going on, especially considering by the time it gets to me, it's going to be juiced up from going over the lake. Like that's the other thing. So always curious what she's having to deal with. Oh, sorry. Excuse me, guys. So yeah, I am looking forward to getting my I am really looking forward to getting my camera set up here going for you because I actually have like a 4K camera that's got AI that follows me around. So I'm not as worried as making sure the shot is completely lined up. It does zoom in, it does all the things, and like I said, don't really need it set up right now at this spot. So getting cold, wet snow. Ugh. 2 hours northeast of Des Moines. Ugh, cold, wet snow. Ugh. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Ours, we're gonna start. I think ours hits around. Oh, when are we supposed to get that? I think around midnight it's supposed to start for us. So I'm gonna wake up to just a bunch of slush on the ground. It's gonna be gross. And then we have full day. Now I do like in the coffee shop too, though. One of the things that we do. By the way, if you want to check out our coffee shop, it's stateandmain.coffee. I should really just add that into the thing here because I stream there from this site too. But we give out free coffee, free drip coffee to anybody who's running a snowplow. They could just come through and we hand them out a coffee. Say, here you go. Thank you for all the work you're doing. It's one of my favorite things to do. Just because it's the work is gross and whatnot. So that'll be starting up tomorrow. We'll be handing out free coffee to folks, free drip coffee. Anybody wants to come through. It's something that I kind of started doing. I used to run a chain of gourmet donut shops back in the day, and we would do that as well, and it was in Portland, Maine. So that was fun. Be able to go through and so I basically just took that and adopted that when came over here, did that. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to be moving. Where's one of these? I'm with this. All right, so we're going to be moving these onions into this here, and what I'm doing is I'm just creating rows so that I can lay these down, place them in, and bear them off so they can be kind of not right next to each other, but I can get all of these into here. It gives them a little more space per se, but that's kind of what I'm doing, just building out the rows right now. And so for those that are not initiated, I do all the cooking in the household, and I do a lot of Japanese cooking. And so I'm always looking for ways to use more and more green onions, but again, be able to have them, they're expensive, right? Got to go buy the bundles. I wouldn't say expensive, but it's just got to have them on hand. And if you don't use them, they go to waste, all that crap, right? So I'm constantly looking for ways that I can grow them better. So that way I can, they're available here. And that's kind of that's what I've been playing around, figuring this piece out. So during the summer. Okay, yeah, absolutely. So SF, that's a great question to ask on a freezing cold day. So I'm going to think about 100 degrees in here. If it was like 120 in here. Okay, so best way, here's how I regulate my temperature. It's a couple things. During the summer, I keep my door open at all times. So I have the door behind me. It stays open uh, starting in May. It just, I don't close the thing. It stays open. I have a set of fans that kick on prior to that. So I have these fans. I'll show you real quick. They're covered up right now with this styrofoam right here, but so I have these fans. It kicks on. It's got a little thermometer here. It kicks on at 90 degrees. Okay. To regulate the temperature that way. And then also in your greenhouse, you should have the vents up top here, right? I have one here, and on the other side I have them here too. These stay open basically the same time that I open the door. So they'll be open May through October. Till I'll just have them open and just let the elements come in and do their thing. When they're closed though, like that's the other thing. If it's going to be where I don't want to have it fully open per se in the um, I will leave. Let's say I got to keep the door closed, right, for whatever reason, but I know it's going to be sunny that day. I'll actually come in here and just crack these open to the first little spot to have them there, and then just turn the fan on and just have that blasting, and just that little bit of that crack here and crack here, it'll naturally pull the hot air out and the cold air in. So that's really the best way to do it. Use these vents. They've got the different amounts that they can open all, full blast or just have it cracked. That's really the best way to do it. Okay. So, but with that, I try not to have, when it comes to June and July, or July and August, June and July, I try not to have anything in the greenhouse. I just try not, I really don't. I come in here, I'll clean it out and I'll use it for some storage stuff, but I really just try to keep it open. Nothing in here. And then June, July, August timeframe, that's when I'll be in here and I'll start some other stuff. So that way my fall plants will be ready when my summer plants come out. So I can change that. So yeah, no worries. It's a great question. Thank you. Thank you very much for asking. So I'm here for. Again, that's what works for me. I don't know if that'll work for you or not. So let's take a look at these guys. I don't necessarily want to get this guy. Let's go here. So we're going to show you what we're working with here. So with our onions, we're just going to pop them out. This is going to be my sacrificial section here. All right. And I mean that in the nicest way because we're still going to keep these guys, but we're going to call them sacrificial for right now. All right. So all of this potting soil is going to kind of go away because I want to separate them out. And you just take your time on this, guys. So this is just seeds that went in, right? And we're going to separate out just like that. Okay, so we're going to grab all these, separate them out, and then they're going to lay down. Can I show you what I'm doing here? I'll get one in here. Get a couple in here, and I'll just kind of show you what it looks like. Gonna give just enough spacing. I got my focus face is on today. I can just feel it. Not my best looking face. It's like my, because I'm focused and so I don't really want to mess this up. These guys have been growing in here they're on, these are a month and actually these are 6 weeks 6 weeks today, if I remember correctly. This guy's done. All right. This and last one. So I'm gonna come over here, kind of show you what I'm doing here. So we're not gonna work again. These are not gonna go to maturity. Right? We're gonna have these while these guys are still young. But you can see here, we can come over the top. So I've built these little rows, right? Everyone's got these little rows, right? Rows, and then we're planting them here. And then I've just got them one by one, separated up roots to then get the roots all connected again. But what we're gonna do is, this guy isn't all the way down. Right? We wanna make sure that's all the way down. Just kind of give the roots a little tug there. And we're gonna bury them down just like this to where we have row after row of them like that. And so that'll make it easy when I've got to come in here and I want to, let me do this so you guys can kind of do this. There we go. I think that's probably better. Let's see. So when I need to come get green onions, right, or anything, I could just kind of go by the row and just grab or even just snip what I need and go down the line. It's also, they don't need a lot of space. I mean, they're onions at the end of the day, right? The root systems are going to get kind of spread out and fill this whole thing up, but the onions itself, especially for these green ones, they're this. They don't need a lot of space. And yeah, So we're just gonna do one of these guys up. Let's go this guy next. And what I'm looking for here is there's some that I'm gonna avoid. So like this one, I'm not gonna use that. If you can see, it's got a little yellowing going on in it. Probably can't see it without my shirt in the way there. A little yellowing. We don't like that. So, but we will. It does taste good though. Oh yeah, that's what we want. Yum, yum, yum. That's what we want. All right. So again, we'll just kind of do this piece here. Separate these guys out. There we go. And you know, and this is the thing too also when you're dealing with like a greenhouse setup, you know, versus like being in your you know, growing in your garden. There's extra steps you just got to keep in mind. Like there's you know, in the garden you could just sow stuff and kind of be done with it, right? Toss it and that's where you're at, right? Um but with the greenhouse, and especially those folks that are doing, you know, we had folks on there with container gardeners, you know what I'm talking about here. You've got to be really paying attention to like the overall health of understand spacing, make sure that you've got your potting, your soil, your potting medium is correct. So you get good drainage. There's a lot of things you have to keep in mind here because it will go sideways in a hurry, you know. Like right now, you can just see where I've kind of got the bare minimum. That's why we're transplanting. So I just got the little bit of the roots coming out the bottom there. So that means, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Probably not. All right. There's just some roots coming down here, just a little bit. So that's what we want to make sure that we're keeping our eye on there is that if that's happening, chances are good it's going to start getting really, really tight in here. And that's no good for the plants. So we want to get them transplanted as quick as we can, knowing we're going to be moving them into this. What is that? Oh, okay. All right. I was like, hear somebody shuffling around in the leaves out there. I was like, what the heck's going on? Neighborhood cat. Just doing neighborhood cat stuff. But we want to make sure, back to that, we want to make sure that we're staying on top of this as much as we can because these roots will get out of control. And especially with something as delicate as these onions, which, I mean, by delicate, I mean, they, the actual plant, like right now, along with the root structure, they're going to get all twisted. And like saying in this case, we want to get to it early so it's easier to very carefully separate them out. Okay. That's the goal here. So as soon as I see, like I said earlier this week, I started seeing roots coming down. That let me know it was time to get these guys transplanted. So that way I will be set for later. Now, you might be asking yourself, why isn't Ryan just sow these like this from the beginning and just trim them out? And the honest answer is because I always start stuff in the 1-inch pots because I can manage the water better. Like that's really what it comes down to. It's difficult to manage the water in this thing because I don't have another tray for this going to. These aren't perforated at the bottom. So when these are set, like this has got moisture in it, it's going to be good. And I'm going to come across and water it up just to make sure it's good there. So like that's the biggest thing, to be able to make sure that I don't drown the seeds or drown the plant. It's easier in those pods. And once they're good, then we just move them over. That's what we do. And plus, it's pretty cathartic. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's just enjoyable to be able to come through here and take my time and do this too. Get my hands in the dirt. Like, this is one of the things where I can't really use gloves on this one. Sorry, I'm off there a little bit. Can't really use gloves on this one just because I got big old dumb fingers and they'll mess everything up. We don't want that. So I got to make sure I'm careful. So I get a little bit of a little dirt under my nails, which I like. Okay, so just continue on again for those who are just joining in. My name is Ryan. We're here in the greenhouse here in northern Michigan. We are currently I'm transplanting onions. And these are green onions. These are just meant for, these are really for me to use in my cooking more than anything else, just as the garnish. Okay, I've been saying Japanese cooking, but that's probably not always true. This is really good on eggs too. Really good on a nice omelet. We all know that too. But again, for anybody that's recently joining, say hi. Let us know where you're at in the chat. We got folks from all over in here. It's good to see y'all here. Lots of familiar faces have been showing up lately, so it's always fun on these streams to be able to see the same face, familiar faces coming by and checking in on each other's stuff. Oh my goodness. So I am going to be working. I got a few things here. Obviously, we're working through on the merch store right now. There's a link in the description for where merch is. So again, if you would like this hat, if you want to get the shirt, those are available there. But I am also going to be working on the Reddit as well. So we can upload. I really would love to see some of the pictures of your garden, of your greenhouse, things that you have going on in your yard, whatever you're working on. I think I want to have a place to share so we can kind of bring those up on stream and kind of show those. I think that'll be pretty cool. Be able to share what everybody's got going in real time, too. Once I have the winter setup in here and I got and I've got OBS going and we got the full stream, we can get on there and take a look at, you can actually post in real time. And we can share each other's stuff that we're working on. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So, but yeah, what is that? Man, it's one thing. Sometimes I just can't hear what's going on in here. Okay. Let's see what else is going to say here. Beyond that, oh yeah, so stream stuff. I have the template I picked up the template, so we're going to be working on my Christmas decorations. It's going to be a little not green and green. So I don't just do gardening stuff on here. I do yard stuff too, and so I've got my Christmas decorations are going to be working on those. So I got my new projector in the mail today or yesterday. It showed up. And that is, we're going to be building out some outdoor scenery type stuff. So that will be going through that. So I've got that. I got to go pick up some OSB, some paint so we can do that right. But yeah, we're going to have a stream where we're going to be doing arts and crafts, guys. At least be starting. It's going to be a few streams because it's going to take a minute. Where I'll be working on stuff. We're going to be carving out a ton. It's at least 10, probably going to end up being close to 14 panels of OSB, which is plywood. And then painting all those up. So I've got some outdoor scenes with some lights we got to do. So a big part of the reason I moved back here too, at least within my property that I have here, is I want to make sure that I'm adding as much beauty into the world as I can. And one of the things that my area, I'm in a really depressed area of Michigan. It's rural, a lot of poverty here. Devastated by NAFTA, all of the car manufacturing moved south, and they never really recovered. So a big part of what I'm doing is trying to help inspire people to, let's take care of our stuff. Let's make things a little bit better. And one of the ways I do that is by, again, having the yard looking good, but also building those nice little things that go into the yard that are not the blow up. And again, nothing against the blow up things that people get. I think it's great if that's how you celebrate. But something a little bit different that again make people's day. So much so that I have folks that drive by the house just to look at some of the new stuff that I put out there. Again, I try to change it up throughout the year. So, but anyways, we have arts and crafts on that too, so it'll be fun. So if you want to see that and learn and watch me fumble my way through that, as we do with most things on here, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, I would appreciate it. Helps the algorithm, pushes more people my way. So while we're out here working, okay, so let's actually give you guys a look at this here real quick. What this looks like before I cover this up. All right, so we've got these guys are all laid down. Guys and gals are all laid down. You can see that here. And all we're going to do is we're just going to come through here and basically just going to cover them up and kind of help prop them up a little bit. They'll straighten out on their own as far as going up and down. They know how to find the sun. They don't need me to do that for them. They'll figure it out. So that's what's next here. We're just going to be very gently covering all of these back up here, getting these roots covered and letting them do their thing. So Oh yeah, this is gonna be great. And then we're gonna give them a nice little sprinkle. They're moist right now, but we're gonna give everybody a nice little coating of some little extra water here, little hydration, because they're not really happy the fact that they just got the roots were ripped out and then not ripped out, gently transferred into this spot here. That's what we're gonna go with. Now, with this, the big thing here is it's not that big of a deal for me to pick up like green onions and have them on hand. Just be clear on this. This is more of like a convenience thing for me, like in real time when I'm an ingredient household. And I'm like, you know what, I want to make this. And I'm like, I don't have any green onions. That's what this is for. I just want to be like, yep, I've always got them on hand. Because they're a product that I use all the time, but not every day. So my big worry is when I buy them, oh man, they're gonna go to waste if I don't use them, right? Or if I plan for it and then life shows up and I decide something comes up and I'm not able to cook or whatever. Now I just waste. And I don't like to waste produce. It's just, it just goes against every fiber of my being to waste produce. So many hungry people on this planet and I don't like wasting it. So that's why I just grow it and just kind of have it here. So it's on hand and I'm able to take care of it and do my thing. All right. Cruising here. My goodness, we are literally dangerous at this point. But hopefully you guys have been enjoying the stream. I appreciate everybody as far as the questions you guys have had on here. You guys have been great on the stream so far. All the questions, all the input, all the just, discussion has been fantastic. We love that here. My mom will tell you, she will say, Ryan doesn't have a problem talking, which is true. I do talk a lot, which you guys already noticed. But man, it's really enjoyable when I get to hear other people's stuff too. I get to learn too. I've had some folks on here, I've just been straight up educated, like, hey, you should try turning that left instead of right. I'm like, what? And we tried. I'm like, oh man, that was a lot better. We should do that. We're gonna do that from now on. And that's really that's what it's all about, right? Learning, getting better. Okay. So here they are. Everybody's kind of set. Kind of see what we did here, right? Look at that. What do you guys think? I think we did okay. We're just gonna give them a little bit of a shower. Nice and gentle though. Nice and gentle. There, that's all. Just a little smidge there, guys. Just enough to hydrate them. All right. Some other things too, just FYI, one of the reasons that I do a lot of the bottom watering too, because it's obviously much more gentle for the plants. All this open water creates a lot of humidity in here, which helps regulate the temperature too. So there's that as well. Like that's the other side too, which is really nice. So, all right, so these guys are good there. I still got more green onions here. They're fine. Plenty of seeds here. All right. So without further ado, which by the way, I didn't really realize ado was like ado as an ADO. I always thought it was ADIEU or whatever, the French one, but ado as in like a ruckus, right? I didn't realize that's what that meant. Because no one ever taught me. We're gonna check out these new grow lights that I got. So we're gonna bring this down here a little bit. See how that looks. Make sure I'm in frame. Yes, I ordered these off of Amazon. They were, I don't know. I think I'll see when I see I don't know if the sheet will be in here or not. Probably not. I think this was $40 for this grow light. I think. If I wasn't streaming from my phone, I'd be able to go look on Amazon and tell you. We're gonna take a look at this thing here. And again, this is just grow light that I want to have. I won't need it, obviously, I won't need it too much, at least for another month or so. But in December, I'm going to have to crank it out for sure. And we'll set it up once let's get this. What am I doing? I got this perfectly good table here, guys. Ryan, come on, man. Get it together, dude. Get it together. Let's turn you sideways. Let's turn you this way. Gloves go here. Subscribe stays here. All right, let's bring you guys over. Let's just look at this thing. Let's see what's going on here. Make sure I'm in frame. We're in frame. Okay. Sorry, I had to get some more tea. All right. So let's see. All right. Well, here's all the hardware. I mean, they've got everything kind of prepared here. Let's see. Zip ties. Always love zip ties. What else we got? It looks like, oh, it's a little chain hook. They got a couple chain hooks. Right? So that's cool. I like that. Fancy. A lot fancier than I typically use. A couple chain hooks. We got zip ties. And then they got some mounting hardware too. Okay. So there's that. Let's put this right here for right now. So here is, I don't know, instructions. I figure it's pretty simple. You just plug it in and it makes light. We'll figure that out. So let's see this thing. Does it pop out of there? Oh, it wants me to pull it out of there? All right. Time for the reveal, guys. All right. LED grow light, full spectrum. Let's see here. So it's, you guys can see that or not. So it's LED light, full spectrum. Hopefully you guys can see that. Am I there? Almost there. There we go. Full spectrum. Okay, there you go. Full spectrum. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Cool. Should we plug it in? I think we should probably plug it in, don't you think? We'll plug it in. We'll keep this here because I'm probably not going to cover it up again with that. Yeah, let's plug it in. I got my little adapter hoozy over there. Let's do that. Let's plug this thing in. Try not to blind you guys. But let's see this thing in action. All right, going down for a minute. I'll come up for air in a second. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Look at that, man. That is some light, which one would assume it does make, right? I did pay money for a light. So cool. So again, with this is literally, I like the way this is set up. It's meant to be done in a chain. See, it's got another connector on this side here. So I'll end up with a light here and a light here. So I'm probably going to order, I've got some smaller ones. So we'll see how this one does this season. And as long as this one behaves and does okay, and I like it, we'll probably pick up a couple more. Especially for the new, the new greenhouse. Did you just, there we go. Get in there, guys. All right, cool. There's that. So we're just going to pop this right back in the box. So it's kind of there and out of the elements-ish. Because I do still have lots of light and other stuff going on in here, water and all the other stuff. So cool. All right, well, that wasn't so bad. Whoop, 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 whoop. Easy, easy, Ryan. Easy. Okay. So that is that. So today was a busy day, man. We got a lot done. So quick recap of what we had here. We had lettuce, right? Big thing with our lettuce here. Getting this all set. This is stuff that I grow for me, my family, our chickens. Kind of making sure this stuff is good here. Transplanted new lettuce, which is our new younger lettuce, starts here. So these guys are off to the races. This is a mesclun mix. That's the salad mix for other folks. Like that's what this is. It's a salad mix. Started my next round of lettuce, which is black seeded Simpson. So again, I constantly trying to keep as many different types as we have going on here. So there's that. And then we transplanted our green onions, which love this time of year. They love the weather. So yeah, again, I appreciate it. And we did a little tour out in the garden and around the property. So it was great. So it was good seeing everybody today. Hopefully I earned your subscription. If you haven't, please do. If not, hit that, if you haven't hit the thumbs up already, I would appreciate that. Also hit that notification bell so you know when I come out here live. I should be out here tomorrow. I've got a couple things I want to work on out here. But beyond that, that's it for today. Take care, everybody. I definitely appreciated y'all swinging by. We'll see you next time.